Yo, what is up everybody? It is Rob back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the kickflip manual. If you're new here, I make videos about skateboarding and we're pursuing the never-ending journey of getting really good at skateboarding, so hit that subscribe button. Okay, so with the kickflip manual, it's pretty self-explanatory. You want to be really good at manuals and you want to be really good at kickflips before you try this trick. Another thing that I'd like to say is maybe a kickflip backside 50-50 or being able to kickflip like up a ledge or down a two-stair is probably easier than doing the kickflip manual, because when you run into problems with this trick, it generally comes down to you not having a good kickflip and not having a good manual. So it is really important to have really good manual balance, and if you have all those tricks, you're ready to try the kickflip manual. So it's about that time where we review the footage. Check out where we put our feet. Sick. Alright, so with the kickflip manual, like I said before, it's pretty self-explanatory. There's a few things I like to cover, and then I'm going to go into a few problems that I have whenever I do kickflip manuals. So the one big difference is when you set up for a kickflip manual, you want to put your foot a little bit closer to that front bolt so you get a quicker flick on your kickflip. Another thing that I like to think of when I do a kickflip manual is generally whenever you're doing kickflips, you want to have your weight centered above both legs. I actually like to put a little bit more weight on my front foot when I do kickflips. For whatever reason, it helps me poke out the kickflip. But with the kickflip manual, it is one of those times where you want to transfer a little bit more weight onto your back foot. So as you're approaching the kickflip manual, lean a little bit in the back seat, not too much, but it's just gonna prepare you so that when you do the kickflip, you're right in that sweet spot so that you can put down the manual. Now, just like the manual with the kickflip manual, you wanna have most of your body really relaxed, but you wanna have that back leg a little bit stiff, but you don't wanna come down really hard on that back leg. The kickflip manual, the best way I can explain it is like landing on eggshells. You wanna have your back leg nice and stiff so you can stabilize that manual, but you don't want to break the eggshells. You still want to land really lightly on that back leg. And to help landing on that back leg, I would recommend kickflipping more precisely and quick than popping. That is why it's really important that you have a good kickflip and be able to control your kickflip, because if you try to pop really high, you're going to land hard on that back leg. So it's really important to have a quick, precise kickflip, because this trick is all about finesse. Another huge problem that I see people doing with the kickflip manual or any flip in general is they flip into the trick and they focus on the end of the ledge, and it's almost like they're thinking about doing the trick and landing it, but for whatever reason in your mind, it's a little trick to think kickflip manual and all you want to be focusing on is the manual part. Once you stabilize that balance and you really find all that weight on that back foot, then you can think, okay, here comes the end of the manual pad and then I can ride off. But if you approach it just doing a kickflip and all of a sudden you're thinking about landing the trick and riding to the end of the manual pad, it's gonna really mess up you perfecting that manual balance. So the best thing I can say is just slow your mind down, think of a nice kickflip, lean back, center all of your weight above that back leg, and when you land, you're gonna be a little bit shaky. Spread your arms out like Jesus Christ or an eagle and just think, stabilize the manual. Once you stabilize the manual, then look forward and then ride off the manual pad. Another huge problem that I see with kickflip manuals, and to this day I still mess up this all the time, is you kind of get ahead of yourself with the kickflip. So a lot of times what will happen to me is I'll be approaching the manual pad, and whenever you do manuals, you kind of want to have your shoulders a little bit open and looking forward. Like you don't want to be squared up, but what seems to happen is I'm riding towards the manual pad, and right when I pop the kickflip, I open up my shoulders and I think about like stabilizing the manual pad. Like I get a little bit ahead of myself. And what that does is it makes your kickflip tweak. It can either go backside or front side, and that's all because of your shoulders. So one thing to keep in mind is keep your shoulders nice and square while you're doing the kickflip. So have your shoulders parallel to your board, focus on the kickflip, lean back, and then as soon as you stabilize your weight on that back leg, then you can open your shoulders a little bit and spread out your arms to stabilize the manual. But I see a lot of people do this. They get ahead of themselves once again, and as they're doing the kickflip, they open up their shoulders immediately, and it'll tweak your kickflip, which is gonna make it a lot harder for you to stabilize that manual. So like most of my trick tips, it comes down to taking a deep breath, slowing everything down. Think about the kickflip first, think about leaning back, think about stabilizing your balance, spreading out those arms, and then slightly opening your shoulders so you can ride towards the end of the manual pad. Now, I hope those tips helped you. One more thing I want to add to this video is that like kickflip manuals are really important. They're not as important as people think, but this trick takes a lot of finesse to do properly. I remember my first kickflip manual, I was at a McDonald's parking lot and it took me hours to do it, and it's because I didn't have a good manual. If I would have had a better manual and had really good balance, I would have been able to kickflip into it really easily. And the only reason I landed it is because I went really fast and I kind of got lucky, and before I lost my balance, I rode to the end of the manual pad. But to do this trick properly, take the time to flipping into the manual and being able to really manual a long time and having control, because if you get that down, kickflip 5-0s, kickflip back tails, a lot of flipping tricks are going to be really, really easy for you. So flipping into manuals is one of those like secret little things that's going to make you extremely good at skating ledges, any type of technical skating, rails. It's really going to pay off in the long run. So don't skip this step and get kickflip manuals dialed. I'll see you dudes in the next video. Peace.